Hey everybody, this video is all about those famous tailwalkers. Yeah, this summer we took the 1,200-mile trip out to Nebraska to visit with Ron at Chaulk Mound Trout Ranch, and he showed us around and gave us an idea as to what kind of fish he'll be bringing us this year, and boy, there's some huge tailwalkers. I mean, we've got fish that are 15, 18, maybe even 20 plus pound tailwalkers. These guys have huge, full broom tails and fins and just as rock hard and tough as can be. I mean, guys, these are the toughest fighting trout you will ever catch. So we hope you enjoy this video and get to see this inside exclusive kind of peek around a trout farm, something many people don't ever get to see. So here we go. Hooks on that was just too small. The fish are too big and it just kept pulling out. So we're going to go with some bigger hooks. Yeah, here we go with the new lure. Bigger hooks. Oh, and she can throw that one. We decided to let my wife Laura fish in the lunker pond. It's got some huge tailwalkers in it. We wanted to catch a fish, hold it up, show you the quality and the beautiful fins on these fish. She caught one of the smaller one in this pond. Heck, in this pond we saw fish with backs 5-6 inches wide. I mean, clear up to like 20 pounds. And that's what we're going to be bringing to you this year. It's going to be an unbelievable trout season. There we go. Now we got one. Now we got a battle. Look at him go. Look at that fish go, he's fighting. Tail walking. What do you think? Look at him go, he's just taking the line. Slow and steady until he tires out. You can't get him in. You have to wait until he's ready. Keep pressure on the line though. We're using, I think, 20-pound test. Otherwise, it had been broken a long time ago. Now at the fishing lakes, you don't want to use 20-pound test to try to catch fish because you'll never get bit. But here at the trout farm, that's a little different story. That's a beautiful fish. Wow, look at that fish. That's gorgeous.
Three grasshoppers later.
He's not done, is he? Yeah. That's beautiful fish.
Wow. Oh good. And he gets to live too? That's perfect. Whoa. I don't think I'm going to do that. Yes,
Look at the fins and the quality of fish. Is that beautiful, Laura?
Yeah, he's actually lived.
Is that nice?
I'm worn out.
Okay, Laura, that was about a 6-pounder. How does your arm feel?
Like it was a 12-pounder. It was pretty big fight I had there.
Is that the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Absolutely.
Has your brother ever caught one that big?
Never. He'll never catch one this big. I'll hold the record for years, I'm sure.
Good job, Laura. Here we're in the hatchery. Baby tailwalkers. This here is where life as a tailwalker begins. For those of you that didn't know, Nebraska has more underground water reserve than any other state in the continental United States. It has the largest aquifer. It's called the Ogallala Aquifer, and Nebraska has more miles of river than any other state. But all of these fish are raised from pure well water, which comes right up out of Ron's wells. And every bit of water that comes on his farm or he uses to raise the fish is just pure well water. And so he has no problems with diseases from upstream fish or parasites or bacterial issues. So he really has the best of all conditions right here in Nebraska. We're here early in the morning at Chaulk Mound, and there's a big pond that's just filled with huge rainbow trout. And they just fed. You can see them all thinning the surface. Look at the backs on all those big trout. These great big fish you see here in the pond, they're not quite ready for delivery yet. They're going to grow a little bit bigger, but the most important thing is they have not gone through the Tailwalker conditioning process. People often ask, why do these Tailwalkers fight like no other trout they've ever caught? Well, Ron has a secret process. We're going to give you a little look at it, and you'll finally understand why the Tailwalkers are such tough fighting fish, because they've got a big workout ahead of them. Yeah, look at them boiling that water down there as soon as it hits it. Before we show you the Tailwalker conditioning process, we'll show you around the rest of the farm. Here's one of the ponds that they just fed, and we'll show you a bunch more while they're feeding. Here's a whole bunch of baby ones. These are about 4 months old. There's 120,000 fingerlings right in this little area. It's called loading the truck up pretty good. These are a bunch of 3 to 4 pounders. They're just tearing up the water. Here we are at the top of one of the raceways. You can see these are just loaded with fish all the way on down. And this is just all earthen lined with plastic. There's no concrete or anything like that here. And so that's why you've got some real good fin quality. Here's another one of the raceways again. That's just black plastic. They just got done feeding this whole row all the way on down. All the water here comes from wells. So it's pure, clean, and fresh right out of the ground. There's no upstream pollutants, contaminants, or bacterial issues or parasites. So everything here is just as pure and clean as it can be. Boy, they're eating good. These are a lot of the 1 pound fish here. As you can see, the sides, it's just plastic material, so that's why the fin quality is really nice. That's some aggressive feeding there, boy. That's beautiful fish. I'll go through that whole truckload. They barely touched it. There's a lot of fish to feed here. That's just pure trout. There's about 100,000 trout just in this particular area. And there's 6 of these all the way across and all the way on down. We haven't even been up top yet. We're going to head up there. Look at the size of this circular, filled with tailwalkers. They just started feeding this. I mean, that's crazy. Look at those fish.
We're now up at the upper part of the facility. How big are these? About a pound and a half fish. Yeah, these will be about the smallest we'll get, right? Yeah, we won't get any fish smaller than this at our lake. And like I said, we're gonna get a bunch of those big fish you just saw.
These will be 2.5 by the time you get them. 2 to 2.5.
2.5 pounds. So they'll put on another pound before they get to our lake. And up there's a couple more spillways we'll get up to, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, looks like 8 or 9 big circulars like this, just packed full of fish. Really shouldn't call them fish, these are tailwalkers. These are the finest rainbow trout money can buy. They're not the cheapest, that's for sure, but they are the finest. Oh wow, look at these fish. Jeez, look at the size of these. So this is a shark pond. I don't know if you can appreciate this, but this is unbelievable. Look at the size of these fish. This is crazy. Oh. Ron, these fish came out of the lunker pond?
Yep, sure did.
Guys, you're looking at a whole bunch of tailwalkers. Big, beautiful fish, full fins. These are the ones that are just getting ready to go on a truck. They're just gigantic fish. They're like porpoise in the ocean, and I'm soaked. Oh man. I mean, this is rainbow trout at its finest right here, guys. Full fins, full tails, absolutely beautiful fish. Strong, broad shoulders. I mean, they don't get more aggressive than this.
Guys, this is part of the tailwalker conditioning process. These fish are forced to swim 24 hours a day, 7 days a week against a strong current that continually circles around this tank. They can't get out of it. It forces them to just put on a lot of muscle. They're fed a whole bunch, lots of protein, and they just get stronger and stronger swimming against this current. Every fish that goes out of the tailwalker facility goes through this process. That's why they're so firm, so hard, and such hard fighting fish. They all are processed against this hard current for several months before they're loaded on the truck.
Big, beautiful tailwalkers. You know, a lot of people ask, why do the tailwalkers fight so much better than, you know, a lot of the other trout? And well, you can see why. These fish are forced to live in this current. They are forced to, you know, swim upstream. And so with that, that's why they get such a hard fight. They're so strong, big shoulders. They're very, very aggressive fish. And every fish delivered to us, you know, is ran through this system, and they're all raised in this before they come to us. Again, you can see that current that they've got to live in 24 hours a day, just swimming up against that stream. This is what makes a tailwalker tough. They got to be tough to survive. We're now up at the very top raceways. These are bigger holding facilities, and again, same thing, plastic liners. You can see the fish, they're very aggressive.
Hey, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed learning more about those fantastic tailwalkers. You know, we enjoy bringing them to you, and I know you guys enjoy catching them. It's hard to pick out which clips of this video are the best to show you, but we're going to go ahead and end it here with a little bit more of those huge monsters that'll be delivered to Santa Ana River Lakes and Corona Lake all season long. Thanks for fishing our lakes, guys.